All right. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Amanda TV. Today I have another awesome guest, Maria Lewis. Hey, Maria.
Hey, y'all. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, my gosh.
Thank you for having me. And I brought my mug so we can have, I know we're Amanda TV, so
yes.
there's no tea in it, but it's hot chocolate, so it'll do for today.
I love it. So tell us about your mug, because you got something written on there. What does it say?
It says, I'm plotting against you. I'm a writer. It's what I do. I thought it was appropriate since we're talking books.
I think what that means is don't get on Maria's bad side.
It will be memorialized in my book, but maybe not in the best way possible.
There you go.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I do actually have some tea today. I don't have a really fancy mug, but I do have this adorable little manatee that my tea sits in.
I was like, is that a manatee hanging out?
Yeah, it like brews in there.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing ever.
I know. This is actually a manatee, T-E-A, like that's how they spell it instead of T-E-E.
Oh my god, that's
I was obsessed with manatees when I was a little kid, so I just had to have this because, you know.
No, it totally works, and it's totally cute. And I totally had a moment when you were like holding up your mug, and I'm like, wait a second. There's a little guy hanging out of there.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something really weird. Because I have a few of these, like different, like I have a shark and an elephant and stuff. Sometimes when I pour the hot water on it, I feel like I might be hurting it, even though it's made of silicone and it's an inanimate object.
You know, that just makes you a good person and a good soul.
I think about that sometimes, but I'm like, no, it likes the hot water.
The silicone manatee's like, you just bring it on. It's fine. Don't.
The hotter the better, baby. The hotter the better. That's how it talks.
You have a voice for it, like.
That was the first time I ever did a voice for it. I swear, Amanda TV.
Until next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Until next time, yeah. I gotta get the shark on here. I mean,
you start doing different voices for different animals. Like each one has its own particular voice that you have to return back to whenever you use it.
Yes, and I have to remember them like characters.
Yeah, exactly. And you can give them names and everything else, and they will be like your like sidekick on Amanda TV.
Yes, that's a great idea. I'm doing that.
You should totally do it.
And then no one, they'll be like, I stopped watching it because Amanda got a little weird with the characters. I don't know what she was doing.
There's nothing alcoholic in the tea.
There is nothing alcoholic in the tea. But I do need to do an episode where I drink alcohol. I have no idea what that episode's going to be like because I am such a lightweight.
If it's anything like the live streams I do in my group, I call them hangout and wine sessions. Mm-hmm. It gets interesting, but in my defense, I'm like everybody has to bring a drink. I don't care if it's milk or water, tequila, but everybody's got to bring something.
That's right. Got to be drinking.
Exactly. Like you got to pull it in and show up and be prepared.
Same thing. Yes, I'm with you. Same thing with the show. I'm like, I don't care what you're drinking, but you got to be drinking something. Got it. And you got the hot chocolate going. I love it. Yeah. That sounds good. I wish I had some hot chocolate right now. That sounds good.
It's my go-to. I wish I could drink coffee. I get migraines from it, so hot chocolate is for me.
I'm totally with you. I drink decaf now. Like that's where I'm at now. I'm with you.
This is where I'm at in life.
Yeah. It's kind of that point. Anyway, all right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey everybody. That was like super like info commercial, like, hey guys. I'm Maria Lewis. I write contemporary romances. Some are more sports, they're hockey fun. Other ones are more hot cops, and I love them. And most of them are set between Boston and New Orleans. I'm from Boston, but I've lived in New Orleans for a decade. So I like to set them places I'm familiar and add little quirks and like local stuff. So yeah, so they're a lot of fun, super swoony and super steamy.
That's awesome. You're just concise, man.
I did not practice that. No,
that is Maria. Okay, she knows who she is and she knows what she writes too.
She's here.
She is here, and I am so glad you're here because we're going to talk about your newest book, Hold Me Today.
Yes. And the cover's super pretty, and I can show you. She brought over the back, so I can hold it up for y'all too.
Yes.
It's a very girthy size book, so it's a good time.
That was awesome. I love that you said that.
Just kidding.
No, but I am so excited. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this book?
Sure. So this one, Hold Me Today, I feel like I should hold it up while I'm talking. Hold Me Today is about Nick Stamos and Mina Papas, and they are Greek Americans living in Boston, and it was so much fun to write. It's a very contemporary romance. There's lots of heat in it, some slow burn action. It's funny and it's also emotional. So I like to hit all the emotions. So if I can make you laugh and then cry in the next scene, my job is done. But it is a best friend's older brother romance. So Nick and Mina have known each other since he was 8 and she was 6. And they've always kind of just gone on each other's nerves, very much like oil and vinegar. They don't get along. Mm-hmm. But Nick ends up coming back from a reality show that he went on, put a ring on it. It's a very much kind of like the Bachelor-esque. And it does not go the way he planned it to go. He comes home and Mina needs his help. So he's the last option. She doesn't want to ask him, but she needs help renovating her salon, and he does restoration. So that's kind of where the book kicks off, and it was so much fun to write and hopefully fun to read too.
Yes, it was fun to read, and I love Nick. He's my book boyfriend right now. I mean, sorry, Mina, but move over.
It was he's a super swoony. He's a good guy, which was so much fun. Not like the alpha hole, not like the bad boy, but the guy that we actually want in real life, not just in the book. You know what I mean? So it was fun to kind of play into that and tap into that good guy. Doesn't mean he's weak, doesn't mean he's a pushover, he's just a good soul. So It was so much fun to write him.
Yes, he is the guy that you want to marry and that you want to take home after you marry him.
He's the one we all want in real life, not just, the book boyfriend that we salivate over in our books and all of that. So
exactly.
It was so much fun.
So, okay, so you have so much bonus content in your books, which I absolutely loved. I think it's so cool. I think we should all be doing this because I think once we're finished with a book, we're kind of hungry for that, that behind the scenes look, and we don't always get that. And then we got to go hunting for it, and we can't always get our questions answered. So I think it's so awesome that you do that. And based on that and, what I know about you, I feel like this book is really special, and it's something that you've wanted to write for a long time. I'm totally guessing, but I'm just curious, why now, and then why these particular characters, why Nick and Mina?
I've been wanting to write, so this series actually is a spin-off from my Nola Heart series. So Tempt Me With Forever is book 4. And it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, not for that couple, their couple gets their HEA, it's all good, but in the epilogue, it gets set up straight for this new series. So I've been playing around the idea for this for so long. I love The Bachelor, love it. Not this season, maybe not as much, but I love
in general.
But I love The Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise. I think it's so much fun, and I love watching interactions. But dating shows have been done in books before, especially in romance novels. I can think of 4 to 5 off the top of my head. So for me, I knew I wanted to write a series that takes place after the final rose, if you will. So once everybody goes home, you know what I mean? Because so much drama ends up filling in after, while the show is airing. Are there things getting leaked? The reunion show, so I wanted, instead of focusing on the house and a bunch of 15, 20 girls running, or you know what I mean? I didn't want to, or guys, I didn't want to go down that route. So I always wanted to focus on the after. And I've been playing with an idea like that for a few years now. And then Nick and Mina are everything to me. So I'm Greek American, also Portuguese, a mutt halfway down the middle. But I really wanted to write a book about culture and cultural expectations put on you by family and everything like that, and kind of what growing up in that kind of blend, that society, what that does to your psyche and everything like that. And so I said it with Nick and Mina. They're Greek, just because I know that culture, because I, belong to that culture inside and out. But it's the things that they go through in the book are not limited to just Greeks. Like they are for everybody. But it's just set against the backdrop of what I know. And so it was really special writing this book, and it was also a little bit cathartic. I'll be honest, kind of like purging my feelings and just kind of expectations and everything like that just set upon. And so I felt so much better after writing the book. I will say that. And it was fantastic being able to write a couple that just are true soulmates, really, really much so, and kind of how they found each other despite the differences, even when belonging to the same culture.
Yeah.
So
I love that. That is so great. And I'm actually fixing to write a book that has a piece of my soul too. So I'm glad to hear that your experience was very cathartic. And I'm not Greek at all, and I very much enjoyed the book. So not a requirement.
Yeah, totally not a requirement, but yeah, it totally makes you feel like when you can write something and kind of purge it. And I think readers sense it too, like when you are relieving yourself of something, whether it's pain or happiness or whatever it is. Like I think as a reader myself, I know that I can sense that when I read a book that clearly has meant a lot to that particular author. Like I feel like I can sense it through the words. Like you can feel how much they bled into that book.
Exactly. And that was definitely the feeling I got, which is why I thought she must have wanted to write this for a really long time. This must have been in her heart for a really long time. So I'm so happy. It's so great to be able to put out that book and like birth it like a baby. Like it's out,
Come out into the world. But yeah, no, it definitely has been it was definitely a great journey. And I don't know about you, because you said that you're like letting it out, letting that piece of yourself like kind of end up on the page. But for me, this was both the most challenging book that I've ever written, but also the most fun I've ever written. I think it was just wanting to do it justice and not cut corners or not have a particular scene give the full emotion that you want. You've really thought about it in your head for so long.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the series, Put a Ring on It, which I love that title.
Put a ring on it? Yeah, it just popped into my head. I was like, this is a perfect series title.
Oh my God. I know. I'm going to regret doing this later. I can tell. I'm going to be like, why did you do that?
Can I do it with you so you're not alone?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Like, we're doing it.
That way you don't feel alone.
Thank you. Look, how cool is she, right? She just did that with me, so I didn't feel alone.
I'm here to help you out. So
Thank you. Okay, but yeah, so back to Put a Ring on It.
Yes.
It is a great name. So tell us about the series. How many books are there in this series? And
there are going to be 3 books in the series. There's Nick, obviously, who's the first one, and it's not a spoiler at all, because if you read chapter 1, you already know it. It's kind of tough to say. He doesn't want to marry the Bachelorette, nor does he end up wanting to propose to her because he doesn't feel the connection. So he ends up telling her to tell him no, because he doesn't want to embarrass. Like, that's how good of a guy he is. He doesn't want to embarrass her in front of, like, you know what I mean? Like, all of, like, the mass audiences of people watching. So he would rather take on that embarrassment if he then put her through that. So his book is number 1, and again, totally not a spoiler because it's chapter 1. There's book 2, who is the other contestant who was the runner-up. And then book 3 will be about the Bachelorette, like my version of the Bachelorette, which, so each book will have its own, they're each the last 3 people standing is really how it plays out. So it's going to be so much fun, and each book will take place in a different part of the country. So, but because they have kind of ties to each other, you'll see big characters.
That's awesome. Everyone's going to love that. So do we get to find out what happened on the set of Put a Ring on It? I know this takes place after, but I'm so curious.
There's going to be more. So the first book took place right after filming kind of ended, like within a month is when the first book took place. Book 2 will be taking place while the show is airing. So there's going to be a lot more of, like, you know what I mean, understanding kind of like what was going on in the show. Media constantly hounding for, all that. And then book 3 will take place right around the reunion show. So each book takes place in a different part of, like, post-show filming, if you want to put it that way. So we kind of get, each book will get more into exactly what happened and how it's influencing and how it's impacted the hero or the heroine in the case of, but we won't necessarily have any flashbacks or anything like that. So it's all going to be kind of like pulled in through conversation, and like, we have Celebrity T who popped up in this book. So it's like a gossip, my own version of like, what is his name? Reality Steve, I think his name is. And he comments on like The Bachelor, anything. Like he knows all the deets, all the drama before anybody else does. And like, yeah, if you want spoilers for a season, you just go to his website and he knows. So we'll definitely be getting like more on that and all of it. So it's kind of fun to look at the whole production and a different spin on it.
Yeah, I definitely love the Celebrity Tea thing. I thought that was really cool.
It was some of my favorite parts to write, actually, just because it's so utterly ridiculous, like why do people actually really care? But I mean, I read those articles too, so I guess I care.
Well, speaking of that, because you do love The Bachelor, that's part of what inspired this series. So tell us, like, do you have a favorite moment on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette? I don't know any of the other shows related to it, so you can tell me.
I think my favorite show, like spin-off, is Bachelor in Paradise, which is, I'll be honest, I watch because of the ridiculousness of it all. Like, that's purely, like, it's pure entertainment purposes, you know? And I hope that they find love, right? Like, you hope that that's the case, but you're in it for the drama and you're in it for the crazy sauce.
Right.
So Bachelor in Paradise is definitely that, because they take all of, like, I hate to put it this way, but like the rejected casties that have all been voted off previous seasons, and they just put them on this like resort, and they're like, okay, go forth, like date each other. Like, it's just crazy, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun to watch and stuff. And as for the particular seasons, I usually get really into it by the time they get to their hometown date. So it's like a little bit later on, they're a little bit more into each other, and then besides that, it's the first night I think is the best night, because it's all like everyone's meeting each other for the same, like people are pulling out all the stops. So this past season, someone dressed up as a sloth. I still don't know why. Like I don't know why she did that, but she did. So it's like, it's a fun show to watch. It's very like, you can't take it seriously, but it's entertainment completely.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. So now I'm going to ask you to spill the tea.
Yes.
Because you love reality TV.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why do you love reality TV so much? One. And then two, what are you watching on reality TV right now?
Oh, okay. So the reason I love reality TV, I know a lot of it is scripted. So like, I don't go in thinking like this is completely reality from point A to point Z, but I love seeing, and I guess it goes back to the book, right? Like talking about like psyche and like people's individuality. I love watching people come together and figure out like their role within everybody else. Like, I think it's such like an interesting social experiment, and I really get into it, like really hardcore. My favorite shows are Survivor and Amazing Race. So like, they're not as much, like Bachelor comes in like probably third, but Amazing Race and Survivor are I have seen every season from the beginning. Like, I go back and watch that. If I could go on a show, I'd want to go on one of those shows. Probably Amazing Race. Survivor, I don't think I'd do that well. Like, I can just imagine my glasses breaking, and then I can't see for the rest of the time. I see so many bad things happening. But so I love watching people struggle to put themselves in a situation where they don't know anybody else, and they have to kind of figure themselves out. And in doing so, like, I feel like they find out more about themselves than they did prior to going on the show as well, especially shows like Survivor, where you're kind of self-reliant upon your social game and how well you can connect with other people. And if you can't connect, what does that mean? So I love it a lot. And I'm only for reality TV, I'm only watching The Bachelor. No, that's a lie. I also watch Vanderpump Rules over on Bravo. I was watching it this morning. It's so good. So good. It follows this bar in LA or Hollywood or whatever. and it's all the people that work there. Some don't work there anymore. It's on season 7, and I've watched it since season 1. So I just, yeah.
You just love it.
Junkie. I am, but I only watch certain things. So I don't go into like Big Brother or some of the other ones.
What about like any of the Housewives shows?
I think I've watched a bit of Real Housewives of Atlanta if it's been on TV and I just need background noise, but I don't watch those ones. Like, I don't seek them out like I do.
You don't follow them?
Yeah, I don't follow. Like, I don't know their names. Like, I might recognize their faces because it's been on the TV, but I don't know. I don't know the tea, and I don't know what exactly is going on with them.
I don't know. I think the only reality TV show I watch is one of like the Kitchen Nightmares or Hell's Kitchen, like those shows.
Yes, they're so good. Gordon Ramsay just did 24 Hours to Hell and Back, and he came to a place in New Orleans that we used to go to all the time. And then we saw the show. We were like, oh, God. And like one day we were like, Mr. Lewis and I were like, we were going to get like late night food, and we're like, maybe we should go and like see what it's like after the show's been there, you know?
Yeah.
And we looked at each other and we're like, maybe we'll just go to this other restaurant who hasn't had problems.
Ignorance is bliss, right?
So bliss. Yes, it was funny, but yeah, I love Gordon Ramsay. I think he's awesome.
He is. That is really so cool.
Away, but still.
Well, I'm sorry that he ruined one of your spots there.
We didn't go there all the time, but we used to go there in college when we were very much low on cash and like needed cheap
budget-friendly restaurant.
Budget-friendly restaurant, and we were going to go back after we saw it, and we were just like, no, they were just not today.
Let's not risk it.
Let's not risk it. We'll go somewhere else.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. All right, so what are you working on now?
I am working on book 2 in the Put a Ring on It series. It's called Kiss Me Tonight, and it follows Dominic De Silva. So he's the other contestant from the show that did not get his ring. It's not too much of a spoiler because if you look online, there's people talking about like who's book 2 or who's book 3. And book 3 will take place after that. But I'm writing book 2 right now, and I'm anticipating probably a May release date. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Different tropes than I've written before, but as we all like to do as authors, we like to kind of push the envelope and, you know, try to do something new every single time, put ourselves in their shoes. So
yeah,
testing the waters in their shoes and trying to find the right size.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely curious about his story. He seemed like a great character. He seems really hot.
Right? Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, I love him. So it's just kind of like diving in and working on it. So, but I really like his story right now. And he's a former NFL player. So I've not written a football player before. So I've done hockey, but not football. So it's kind of fun to like dig into my football roots and write about another sport that I like.
Maria likes her athletes, man.
I like my athletes. The Boston in me. Pro sports, you can't get away from it.
I love it. I love it. So where can readers find you in your books?
You can find me here. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Maria Lewis, same as Instagram. Maria Lewis author for both of those, like at Maria Lewis author. My website, marialewis.org, and my Facebook reader group is probably where I'm the most active of all social sites, and that is Book Boyfriends Anonymous. So that's like my favorite place to hang out on the internet. So it's where I go pretty much every day, and you get to know me. It's really awesome, and then you get to know I don't like pickles, and usually everyone shares pickled photos. So. So it's funny for both them, and I cry a little on the inside for me, but also laugh on the outside too.
Well, there you go. If you want to tease Maria about pickles,
the
Book Boyfriends Anonymous on Facebook.
Exactly. It's the way to go.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we'll link those below, so you don't even have to go hunting on the internet. You could just click right there.
Okay.
But yeah, Maria, thank you so much for coming on Amanda TV. I'm so excited, and I can't wait for Kiss Me Tonight. It's going to be great.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. It's like awesome.
Good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I had a good time. We had some good laughs.
Totally.
And yeah, definitely check out Maria and Hold Me Today.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Amanda TV, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.